Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper.
All right, Garfield, let's do this. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, what's the topic of the day is observations.
Yes, observations. Lots of observations going on.
Yeah.
Lots and lots. So, what do you got? What's going on in McKinney?
Listen, it would be shorter for me to tell you the list of names in my center of people who aren't on intent to suspend already this year, based on just on the quote unquote safety methods. That's what every discipline says. Safety methods. You could get a, they follow you for 30 minutes. They see you miss the handrail one time. Oh, that's one. Oh, then the next time they come back, oh, well, you didn't, I don't know. You didn't turn on your hazards one time. They follow you for 30 minutes. One time you forget to hit the button or it doesn't click or whatever. And you're, moving along. Oh, that's an intent to suspend.
That's it.
Those
You're done.
Those are not valid.
No.
They have to have the same. They have to be on the same thing. You can't just say, "Oh, the safety methods, all 340 safety methods."
Yep.
Like that's not how this works. This is a fight that's been fought before, and the company just doesn't seem to be able to get it through their heads that this is what they want to do, and it's harassment, plain and simple. That's what this is.
That's it. It's. I know. I listen. We got them, and they're following everyone, right? And sometimes, I mean, we can't even say it's like disparate treatment because they're just following everyone.
No, but I mean, there's supervising language in the contract, and when they're following you two and three times in a week, that's. I mean, I don't know how you say that's not over supervising.
No, it is. What I'm saying is they're following everyone, whether it's once or whatever. Yeah. And if it's more than once, it's obviously where we're looking at it different than they do. Oh, we're just gonna. And that's the thing, though. But they might be doing it to everyone, like following everyone. But some people they're doing 2-3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you start getting.
They're using lytics to justify that.
Yeah. Well, and we were told, what was it? I don't know, like 2 years ago that like as a union, we don't look at any of those videos.
No.
We don't, So, I mean, that's it. We don't have to look at it.
If a supervisor comes to you and says that we need to review some lytics footage. That's not something that you need to review. That's not something that you need to talk about. Can't be any kind of discipline based on that. If they can't even consider that a verbal at that point because that's discipline.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous.
If a supervisor comes up to you and says, "Hey, we need to review some lytics footage with you," go grab your steward, and your steward ought to say, "No, we're not going to do this."
Exactly. So it's I mean, and if it gets there, if they want to, oh no, you have to. Okay, the BA should say no also, but
Well, and here's the thing too, and the few of those that I have seen that I have sat in on. Some of the times, like, pay attention. If you pay attention to some of those are not even, like, the trucks aren't even the right one. Like, somebody wanted to see. They wanted to review a specific thing that happened. Like, the driver came and said, "Hey, I hit the button. I recorded, what had happened because it was a close call." And I went in there with the driver to walk over it, and there was like 3 more in there along with his. And they looked at the other ones. And the other ones weren't even of his route. They weren't even from his car, but they had his name on them.
Yeah, I mean they listen. You know what it is? They what happens? They'll see. Oh, this package is supposed to be on this truck, so they just they start putting it. They how they do things. It's a lot of deception.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. And I think the biggest thing that's going on in Dallas, I'm sure everywhere else, is the hazards and you put your hazards on and putting the mirrors in, and hazards we get, right?
Yeah.
Hazards.
I mean, hazards.
that's
the most difficult thing about the hazards is for me is like I have one of the trucks to where you pull it out from behind the blinker, and then when you put the blinker on, it turns it off. And
yep.
And like occasionally I'll just have a different truck that does it differently, and it fucks me up for a day.
Right on the top.
Yeah, where it's on the top or it's on the side. Yeah. Some of the newer trucks have it like on the side of the steering wheel and stuff. And like,
can I just cut in for a second?
Yeah.
Do those new trucks have AC?
Of course not.
No. Okay, just making sure. Okay.
We've gotten what in our district we've got 10 of the AC trucks have happened, like maybe.
Yeah, they're electric trucks. They bought them. Yeah.
Yeah. We've gotten 10
recently,
of them.
But they're not on the road.
Yeah.
They're not on the road. But
probably won't even stay here. They'll probably go somewhere else.
Oh yeah, we're just like a midpoint for somewhere, It's because we don't need it down here. But
no,
anyway,
of course
no.
not.
But the hazards are important. You want to, that's just important. We know that.
Yeah.
But, the mirrors. I mean,
well, okay. So here's my thing on the mirrors. I run a rural route, and I back into a lot of driveways and stuff like that to get out because I have like tight country roads that don't have shoulders and stuff like that. People zip down. I'm not paying attention. I've had supervisors get on to me about the number of backs a day. I was like, it's safer for me to back into a driveway than it is for me to take up a whole lane of a country road.
Yep.
And I feel the same way about the mirrors because if you think about it, if I fold in the mirror, then the only way I'm folding that mirror out is without being able to see if anything's coming. And as far as I'm concerned, my left hand is more important than your mirror. So, and we've had a couple of close calls in our center about people pushing them out and, vehicles zipping by and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's not worth it. I was like, if they want to write me up for not folding in my mirrors, then by all means do so. I will happily explain to a panel why I feel it's unsafe. And I do feel it's unsafe because the only way for me to do then push that mirror back out is I either have to do it blindly without seeing what's coming, or I have to stick my head out. And I'm not doing that. So
I know. I mean, I think that, like 2 years ago, I think, we were just put your mirrors, just fold your mirrors in. We were looking at the 340 methods. I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, it's not. Also, another one that's not in the 340 methods is walking in the front of the truck. It's also not in there. You can get out of the package. You can get out of the passenger or the driver's side, but there's nothing saying that you can't walk around the front of the truck in those 340 methods.
Yeah. But
they'll happily write you up for it.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, I get people, they're told what to do from the upper, but I mean, they got to do what they have to do, but it doesn't make it right at all. Well, at all. I think it's a load of crap.
And my supervisors will be like, man, listen, I'm like, don't shoot the messenger. It's like, I'm being told to do this. Like, they're telling me that I'm going to lose my job if I don't write you guys up every time that I do an observation. That's what they're being told. They're being told that every observation has to have a discipline assigned to it. Every one. Well, and they're getting frustrated because they're going out there and they're following people and they're not catching them do anything. So then they're stopping them and they're coming up and they're asking them, it's like, hey, what are your next 5 stops?
Yeah.
It's like, don't look at your board. What are your next 5 stops? Tell me what your next 5 stops are.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that when your itinerary updates every 5 fucking minutes.
Right? Yeah. Seriously. I mean, it's
one thing I want to reiterate to people: if a manager or a member of management comes up and talks to you out on road, you don't have representation. You're a union member and you have Weingarten rights, which means you have the right to representation. And clearly, that conversation is going to end in discipline.
Yes. And we don't do hearings over the phone either. They can't just call the steward.
No.
Okay? No, we don't do that either.
No. So when one of those guys calls me and asks me to talk to him over the phone, I'm going to hang up on him. We can talk to him in the morning.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I mean, you exercise your Weingarten rights. If a management comes up there because he's doing an observation on you, even if he's just wanting to talk to you about, not using your handrail one time or leaving your bulkhead door open or something, or or whatever, don't engage with him. Hey, you can't stop him from talking, but you don't have to respond to him. You don't have to say a word without union
No.
representation. And I encourage everyone, if this is the way they're going to be, then exercise your rights. And if they want to get pissy about it, shit, pull your phone out and record them. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you want to start getting mad at? Pull your phone out and record them. It's like, well, this will go really great with the NLRB when we file labor charges on you.
So my supervisors, I mean, I've known one or two of them for a while, but here's the thing: they're still management. They're gonna do what they do, right? And while they're and if we noticed it, if any one of us noticed that they were smiling during it, we would have angry. But I know there are supervisors out there who do it with a smile, who love doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And whether they make it worse for everyone else, they're still management. So we put them together with it, and it's like. Yeah, I mean, why? This is bullshit. It's this whole atmosphere. Well, my boss is telling me, so that takes the onus off of them, right? Oh,
Yeah.
it's my boss telling me. It's my boss telling me.
And when it comes down to it too, is like if you're being observed 2-3. I mean, I've got drivers in my center who have been followed or have been observed a dozen times this year.
Huh?
Like
Wow.
that's over supervising. Like period.
Absolutely.
End of sentence. Like
Yeah.
file those Article 37 grievances. Like
Yes.
don't hesitate. Like if their manager is telling them that they have to do that, then if they get brought in front of the Article 37 committee, they can say that. They can bring up an email and say, "Hey, my division manager, my center manager told me I had to follow him. I'm just doing what I'm told." You know? And, then the Article 37 committee can do with that what they will. But don't hesitate to file them. They're not hesitating to write you up for every little fucking thing. So don't
Everything.
Yeah, don't hesitate to file on them. Like it's not shooting the messenger. It's just part of the process. Whether they're doing it on their own or their bosses are telling them to do it, it's still a violation.
Yeah, and that 37 committee. I mean, you have to. What happens is people will get mad because they're following them, but then the next day they'll no, I don't want to file. I don't understand.
Well,
I don't understand. You know, and again, it's since they know they're not supposed to do more than one ride along. What do? They're following you, right?
Yeah.
That's their way around it. That's their way of doing things. And you listen. But if you're gonna do it, just do it to everyone the same. But don't do it excessive at the same time, right? Don't. I mean,
the excessive language is in there, so we have to utilize it, and it's and here's the thing that worries me, is I feel like what's really going on is they're just trying to overload everybody, so people forget to file grievances. I feel like that's 100% what's happening. They're well, if everybody's having to file them, something's going to slip through the cracks, and we're just going to get people. You're going to get people just by osmosis at that point. That somebody's going to forget something. A piece of paper's going to get lost. It's not going to get turned in. This, that, or the other, and somebody. Good driver, 10, 15, 20 years is probably going to get walked out and not get their job back because the company's just like throwing everything at the board, see what sticks.
Yeah, they are. They are. And this is by far, like, I've never seen the company come after, us like they have, right? Like, it's just, so that being the case, like, don't hesitate.
No.
Like, I don't understand. Put up a fight.
Yeah. They're coming after your jobs. 100%. The goal is to get rid of people.
Yeah.
Whether it's justified or not, the goal is to reduce the number of people that are working for this company. And I find that it's going after they're going after the higher seniority drivers because they're trying to get rid of people that are that are going to get in top pay. Fortunately, many of them know how the process works and know what they're supposed to do. But I had a driver the other day, 25-year safe driver. Never had an injury, never had an accident in his career. He got wrote up for walking on the grass. First warning letter he's ever received. They wrote him up for walking on the fucking grass.
Okay. But, I mean, like we said, I mean, they're coming after us, and it's a whole thing. If they're coming after us, stewards need to go after the company. The BAs need to go after the company. It's got to be a whole thing.
It's got to be a group effort, 100%.
It has to be,
and we've got to be fearless about it.
Yeah, we definitely have to be fearless. Fearless is the way to go, right? You can't live in fear, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you make a choice that, hey, I'm going to be fearless.
Yeah,
that's it. So, but it's important that people don't forget, each day. Like the next day comes and, let's forget what they did to me. Let's just not, and people a lot of times they won't do anything until it really hits them, right? If I got an intent to suspend, push back, always push back.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, there's no sign of letting up by the company, right? Mm-hmm. So why shouldn't we adapt to that, overcome exactly what they're doing to us, And like you said, perfect thing is the group effort.
Yeah, but this has been good. We wanted to talk about this because it's been going around, but we want to wrap up the episode. Just talk about the Heat, just real quick.
Yes.
We've got a lot of rookies. I had a rookie go to the hospital on Friday, called me from the ambulance, and when it comes down to it, whether you've been doing this for 25 years or if you've been doing it for 5 months, hydrating, take care of yourself. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. Don't hesitate to take your cool zones. You don't have to clock out for those. Just communicate in the board that you're taking them. And, if you have to call it a day because you feel like you're getting too hot, don't hesitate to do that. Because no amount of pension benefits or insurance or anything else is going to do you any good if you don't make it through the end of the day.
Yeah, and I know people want to push, and it's a struggle, right? Like you want to get done so you're not in the heat, but the problem is you start doing like that. That's where you start getting into trouble. I'm gonna push.
Yep.
No, listen to your body, and we always say this: listen to your body, hydrate, go to a cool zone, do what you have to do. You're not gonna get in trouble for cooling down, okay? Because the ultimate thing is if you don't cool down and things happen, you could die. And what was it last week? The postal worker died.
Yeah, in Dallas. Yep.
Okay, and we're all UPS, USPS, FedEx, whatever it is.
We're all doing the same job.
Absolutely, we don't want anyone going down.
No.
So we're very adamant about this. We, too many lives lost because of the heat, and we don't want any more.
No.
So I mean that's very important. So hydrate. Go to your cool zones, be in contact with your supervisor, everything, and don't let them force you to do something that your body's telling you no.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay? Yeah. So glad we talked about that. So for myself and Garfield, everyone have a good day.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.